There are many, many challenges, and it's important to tell you what the challenges are. And India, it's the challenge is, first of all, that India cannot grow on the back of only the central government. India will grow if the states grow. If states grow, India grows. And therefore, it's very important that it's not merely the southern part of India grows at more than 10% plus, but the northern part, the eastern part, the western parts, all of them carry out very vigorous reforms. And I think the next phase of India's growth story has to be the story of states carrying out radical transformational reforms, making themselves easy, making them simple, scrapping all the rules, regulation, procedures they have built up. They have built up over the years, and therefore it's necessary, because we should understand what is happening in India. Actually, there are many trends which are shaping India. If India has to surpass Japan and Germany to be the third largest economy, we must understand what's happening. Firstly, there's been a very sharp fall in fertility. The fertility rates have declined, and therefore, the population which is growing actually will decline in future, will not grow at the same level. Now, you have a young population. You have a very young population right now, which will remain. There'll be low dependency burden by the time you are 100 in 2047. And therefore, we must capitalize on low dependency burdens of a young population. Rarely in history has a country not become rich when it has low dependency burdens. And if we do not become rich now in the next 2 to 3 decades, it'll be nobody else's failure but our own failure. History has never seen a country not become wealthier and richer and raising its per capita income when it is a young country. It is a baby boomers moment for India, and we must capitalize on it. And therefore, the second big point for India is that there are more internet users in Indian villages than in Indian cities now. So you will see more and more of technology getting into rural areas. And the third key point is that there are more women. Many people do not realize it, but new surveys are all showing that actually there are more women than men in India, and therefore women will have to play a very critical role. And fourthly, I think it's important to understand that you will see close to about 400 million Indians getting into the process of urbanization in the next 3 to 4 decades. So how we do our urbanization, whether you like it or not, people will move from rural areas to urban areas. And therefore, how we do our urbanization in a smart manner and in a very sustainable manner, because all the urbanization that I am seeing from Delhi to Rajasthan as I drive is all unplanned, unsustainable urbanization. So we have to ensure that we do sustainable urbanization in a very, very, very big way. So my view is that India will grow only if states grow. India will grow if we are able to take people away from agriculture. The challenge with India is that 42% of our population is in agriculture. That's too high a number. 18 to 19% of your GDP is coming from agriculture. That's too high. The world average is about 5 to 6%. So you need to take people away from agriculture, put them into urbanization, put them into manufacturing, give them better quality jobs. And if that is how countries have grown. And when you do urbanization, if you look at many of the states of the eastern part of India, they're still talking about rural development. They're still talking about agriculture and focusing on rural poor and agriculture. The more you spend money on rural areas, my view is that we need to create, as the Prime Minister had envisaged, more and more smart cities so that we are able to create good quality jobs. And these new smart cities have to be manufacturing-led. That's important and that's critical to my mind, because that will lead to good quality jobs. And the share of labor in agriculture has to come down. Third critical issue is that we must build ourselves on manufacturing, because manufacturing will give you the size and scale to penetrate global markets. No country in the world post-World War II has grown without becoming a major exporting nation. And India needs to grow its share in the world trade from 2.5%, right now it's about 2 to 2.5%. We need to take it to close to 5% of the global trade.